of 3 of tonight over in North America. And our first player in the bottom right, he represents Genesis Gaming, the Red Protoss player, the king of PvP for North America. Yes, PiLiPiLi.
And his opponent spawning up in the top left, the newcomer this year. It is looking to even come in first or second, representing Root Gaming. He is Disc. I think at this point we can say first is probably pretty much out of his reach, because it would take a miracle for us like Pure Legacy to take down Estrella, but he controls his own destiny right now with this series.
Yeah, and I think if you are Disc, you are looking to definitely go for in the highest position you possibly can. For one, in North America, it matters a little bit more. You get into quite big money quite early, and if you skip that one round, you're already closer and closer to the big buckaroos. Yeah, as you said, it is going to be difficult for Pure Legacy to beat Estrella. So Disc, he just needs to concentrate on his series and nothing else right now. Because in front of him is not a player he can switch off and write off. And I've really gone on and on about how good PiLiPiLi's PvP is, but it has blown me away with how surgical, how well he plays, how North America he plays, because he does some crazy stuff. But this should be a very interesting benchmark for me to really judge how good PiLiPiLi is, because Disc has as well been incredible.
Yeah, I think you said it best there. The perfect word to describe his play is surgical. It really is like watching someone, you know, just kind of know exactly what they need to do and just do it. They're like, okay, well, this is what I make happen. This is how I make it happen. Which is, you know, sounds so simple. You're like, oh yeah, you just have what you want to do and you just do it. But if you've ever watched PiLiPiLi stream, his play is so fluid, and he just always looks so comfortable with what he's doing. A lot of players, for myself specifically, this really speaks to me, tend to lock up a lot of the time. And, you know, something doesn't even necessarily go wrong, but maybe they just get a little bit stressed, and things start going wrong for them mechanically. But PiLiPiLi, he just always feels like, it feels like he's so in control of what he's doing.
Double stalker openings here for both, and then we see PiLiPiLi going to get the sentry out quite quickly, and double sentry coming in for Disc. So Disc going to have slightly more vision. We've seen him do a lot of this, I think, throughout this event. We've had a lot of Disc games. He does like to play with a lot of vision. So again, EU being very high, 6,500 MMR on the European ladder, means that there is a lot of knowledge to be gained. I've completely lost words, I apologize. A lot of incentive to scout very well, because there can be some tricky players, and against PiLiPiLi, who is known to be a tricksy little boy, this is going to be important.
Yeah, no kidding. Anytime that you have a player who is, you know, practicing a lot of PvP on EU or practicing for PvP, EU is a good place to do it, because there are a lot of very, very different, very stylistic players on EU, and a lot of incredible European PvPers.
Yeah, I mean, you think you could be playing against Max Pax one game and then Showtime the next, and you've got a real variation in styles. And you've got your Hearthstones, your Drogos, who are very down the middle. There's a lot of extraordinarily good Protoss players in Europe, and they're all very good in this matchup. PvP is an interesting matchup where Protoss players are either very, very good at it or they struggle. And I feel like typically a lot of the EU guys are really kick-ass. Blink all across the board, but that is a bloody quick +1 here for Disc. No Forge even down yet for PiLiPiLi, so Disc will have the advantage, but he's going to be down in numbers quite significantly. And this is the surgical, the aggression here coming out of PiLiPiLi towards Disc.
Yeah, I think he only used a single hallucination, so he's got a lot of sentry energy right now. There is a shield battery available. Is there energy for an overcharge? Yes, there is. But these force fields could still be very, very devastating. Oh, but it's actually Disc pulling the trigger with the force fields first. However, he doesn't have enough. If he had one more force field available, that probably would have been game over, because he would have trapped all 5 stalkers. But instead, we see just a little bit shy, and PiLiPiLi almost gets kind of bopped on the snout right there.
Just down, sit.
Yeah.
And now PiLiPiLi is going to go in with hallucination, see the Forge, and realize, oh, bloody hell, I'm going to be a little bit behind. So he's going to cut corners in a different way. And that is going to be by getting that quicker third Nexus. The Adept's getting in as well here. Get a couple of workers. They will go down for it. Not ideal. They do lose a little bit of value, of course, as the game goes on, but always nice to have that constant lurking threat. Still no Forge for PiLiPiLi, so he is going to be playing without upgrades for a bloody long time at this point. Both Blinks now completing. The Robo done here for just Disc, because Disc has the better tech just across the board, and he's getting a Prism now. I think he's looking for a +1 timing.
Yeah, this is looking like it'd be really, really strong. 4 gates are available. PiLiPiLi. He is on 3 gates and he's adding 3 more, but they're not done yet. And having that upgrade disadvantage is going to be really tough.
Oh, the Blink 4 here onto the sentries, but there's a lot of Stalkers here, actually. PiLiPiLi managing to get a bit of a jump here onto Disc. Disc does have a lot more army supply. And guess what? Sentries can't blink. That's so much energy gone down the toilet here. And now we're going to see the fight kick in. Nice micro from Disc. He gets the advantage. It is returned. I would have liked to have seen a blink over that. I think that would have been awesome.
Yeah. But he feels that he can do this, and the sentries they're moving past to try and block this army in. PiLiPiLi recognizes it. He will recall, but he loses 2 additional stalkers. He's down 15 army supply.
You could just blink into the main at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what we see. Stalkers are out of position in the natural. The Prism here giving the high ground vision. The shift blink, so cute. I'm so bad at doing that. It never works for me. And now we can see force fields on the ramp, meaning sentries cannot get here to provide Guardian shields. Ripped off the line, but Disc has so much army supply right now.
Now he does lose the Ward Prism. That was a little bit of a mistake, putting it into phase mode. Good job from PiLiPiLi to snipe that off. But 13 probes go down. And, well, you know what? All this does is really equalize the worker count.
Yeah.
Actually, PiLiPiLi, he comes out of this okay since he is still on 3 Nexus. And he can produce, 3 probes at a time. But the big issue is there's still no Forge, exactly. Yeah. And +2 weapons is on the way for Disc. PiLiPiLi, what is happening? You don't just forget a Forge.
No, at this point it has to be intentional, you would think, or just I'm not sure, because +2 is already, as we said, on the way, probably about 1/5 of the way done so far. 4 more gates coming in from Disc, who knows he can pile on the aggression. Although that trade didn't go like world-class, incredibly game-ending for him, it was still good. He killed a lot of workers. And his third is getting close to completion. Has completed as well. So he's going to be able to produce 3 probes at a time and catch up, if not pull ahead in the worker count. Because PiLiPiLi probably going to have to remake some army units. That's a lot of dead Stalkers. The Immortal, though, oh my god, it's barely getting off shots. The micro here is, okay, I was going to say it was very good, but now? Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know about that aggressive blink from Pili. He ends up trading out okay. And, well, okay, Disc does now have to disengage. He doesn't have a War Prism. That ends up being a very kind of sloppy fight from both players. Even Stalker losses, but the Immortal going down for PiLiPiLi is a big deal.
That +1's coming into effect.
Prism.
Oh my god, that Prism. That Prism, it isn't going to be seen just yet. It is going to be able to skirt. Here we do see PiLiPiLi looking to get the chase on. There's not a lot of Stalkers here for Disc, and actually the rest of his Stalkers have just been scouted as well. The Prism is down just south. Oh, it's going to get seen and be forced to unload. It can't be blinked on. Very lucky that the Prism gets out. One Stalker will not fall down. Nice, using that secondary blink here from the Prism in order to load it up and get it out of dodge. Charge on the way for PiLiPiLi, but +2 is about to finish here now for Disc, and +2 against +0 is just, it's so much damage, especially when Zealots enter the fray.
Yeah, it's honestly, it's on even army supply. It's like if you have the same army and the same supply. Oh, was that a War Prism that just got taken out? Oh, he found a War Prism. Yeah. That is a really nice pick off. That's kind of an insurmountable supply upgrade lead. Like without disruptors, with the tech disadvantage, finally the Forge is coming down.
930.
Oh my god, that's like 925.
I think it was 9:30. It was for, between 9:25 and 9:30. I mean, it's 4 minutes late on a good day. We do have a big push coming in from PiLiPiLi, but these Zealots are going to do so much DPS here, Steadfast. And I think we're going to wait for one more wave here and maybe fight in the battery. But a fight in a battery with all of these upgrades. These are Archons in the front, just decimating these Zealots as well. And you can see how one-sided this fight looks. The Zealots still standing strong. The Archon able to tank pretty well. And as reinforcements come in here, I think we're probably going to see this fight turn. Although PiLiPiLi all of a sudden doesn't look too bad. Yeah, here we go. Now there's no front line left for him. and this is going to be Stalkers trading against Stalkers, and I can promise you the blue ones come out better. The Prism goes down. Our observer here, just so talented, and just like that, GG should be called relatively soon, because I think PiLiPiLi is probably just losing too much.
Wow. Well, we... As predicted, +2 versus +0 when you have almost the same army and an upgrade, and an army quality disadvantage without those two Archons doesn't end very well for the Protoss player on the wrong end of the upgrades.
Didn't go ideal, did it? It certainly wasn't perfect there. It is frustrating that early forge really did pay off, and the only thing I can assume is that PiLiPiLi put all his eggs into the just kill him earlier with more stuff basket, and it didn't quite work out there. So we move on to map 2. This is a best of 3, so still time for PiLiPiLi to come back, but Disc looking very clean. His micro was very good. I'm going to say very way too many times as I get tired. But a great game there from Disc, great execution, and we now will be waiting for our lobby.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to what the next map is. In PvP, it's not as big of a deal unless you have specific plans, like, for example, a blink in the main base, or a cannon rush, or proxy void ray, or something like that, or you want to go for a max packs build. So actually, that's quite a few things. So actually, maps matter a lot in PvP. Wow, look at that, Steadfast teaching himself on the spot.
Learning every day.
But yeah, no, this is a really, really strong result for Disc to start things off. And if he can just win one more map, he will advance on it through. And did Pure Legacy already? He was not eliminated earlier. Did somebody win a map?
I think he was eliminated earlier.
Oh, he was?
I believe so. Australia is up 1-0 in that series. Anyway, Nina up 1-0 against Future. Lobby is coming up. I just had to message our admin. He is currently in 2 accounts, running 2 streams at the same time. So it's a little bit stressful here. Big shout out to our admins. We've had the same admin here on the B stream for the entire event. It has been iScar, who has been absolutely fantastic. Big fan. Over there in Brazil, doing all of this from sunny Brazil, which is pretty cool. I'd like to go to Brazil. Maybe he'll let me stay with him.
How humid is Brazil? Is it like I know it's like hot and like
Brazil. Like it's a small country. I'm looking now. No, I'm looking now. Oh, it's pretty hot. They've got heavy rain today in Rio de Janeiro, and there's a warning for it. But like Wednesday, 26 degrees with 60% humidity. It's actually not too bad. Damn, I'm going to Brazil.
That's not horrible, but I might melt there.
Oh no, I'm the whitest of white. Like I am beyond pale. I love it when it's like 35 degrees. Like I want to feel myself crisping up like a tater. That's what really appeals to me. And I remember there was a Home Story Cup a few years ago where it was like way in the 30s, and Home Story Cup doesn't have aircon, and the downstairs where the players practice is literally a basement, and I've never smelt smells like that before in my life. It was good. We got ice cream though. Lots of ice cream. We move into our second map now. Juggernaut are going to be the map. So a pretty decent sized map here. Relatively long rush distance, but there is room to get up into the main.
Yeah, there certainly is. It is somewhere that cannon rushing is on the table, but I don't think either of these players is going to do it.
Every time you say it, I like shudder. I get a little warm.
I know, right? Like it's like, ooh.
Don't talk so dirty to me. I can't say that. Okay. Steadfast, our first player in the bottom left representing Genesis Gaming. He is the Red Protoss player. He trails in the series 0-1. It is a PiLiPiLi. That's such a good name.
PiLiPiLi. It's so like it rolls off the tongue so nicely. It's just fun to say exactly. And his opponent. PiLiPiLi. Spawning up in the top right, representing Root Gaming. On the verge of securing a top 2, it is Root's Disc. From
Root
French
Root.
Canada.
Alexandre something. I can't remember his last name, but it was really French. Yeah. I've never been to Canada, Steadfast. I've never been to the States, actually, at all. North America, nowhere. I'll come visit you. No, no. It's a shame,
Sounds
isn't it?
good. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome here anytime. We'll get you some
Yeah,
poutine.
baby. No, I don't like gravy.
I don't like gravy either, but
Oh.
I don't know what sorcery or what
okay,
kind of spell they put on it, but
I'll try it.
but gravy and cheese curds on their own, I'm like, But poutine, I'm like,
For you, Steadfast, I'll try it. Double gateways in the mains as expected, as there is no ramp outside the natural where it's a very, very wide entranceway, harder to hold. No cannons. So, I mean, this is potentially our last map involving a Protoss for this entire event, and maybe I won't see any cannons at all. Looks like a hidden pylon going to be coming down here. I'm not sure if this is going to be a fake or if he is going to commit to hiding some tech here. I would imagine in that location, a fake is relatively likely. Yeah, he's sticking around.
yeah, that's.
It could
Maybe he
be...
just doesn't want to have the potential probe scouts see him returning. But that is definitely like a little bit sus, you know, like you would you'd be not necessarily voting yes, but you'd be like, okay, well, you know, you stay with us for the next thing while we do tasks. Oh.
Okay. So when you hide one building, it's not uncommon that you would hide the other. We see only one stalker being made. That's already a bit of a tell. Like, why are you only making one unit? What are you doing? So Disc certainly knows he's probably playing against something a little bit funky. It is just a Twilight Council that's going to be hidden, though, for now. As the probe has evacuated that proxy location, it's going to head up north here just to be annoying. Oh, there's a pylon been dropped as well here, Steadfast. Yeah, proxy pylon near that accelerator zone generator over towards the west. Twilight Council finishes, and we will see. And we will.
I think Blink.
See?
Yeah.
Blink. There we go.
Yeah, he was just a little bit shy on money. He had like 140 gas in the bank when it finished up. Yeah, I was gonna say I actually like the concept of a very, very quick blink because the fact that he got it so fast means that it will hit at such an unexpected timing, and you always expect DTs as the proxy. Yes. But something like a proxy Twilight Council for a very, very, very,
it's gonna get scouted. The pylon's gonna get scouted.
Okay. Ooh, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it will.
So
but he's gonna see more than that.
Yeah, he's going to head down. He really wants to know what this is. He's going to see it. This is going to be such a big scout as well. Seeing this Twilight Council wearing away, and most importantly, not seeing a Dark Shrine. That means that the Robo, that finish, should immediately start working, I imagine, on an Immortal. He may go for an Observer anyway, after taking down... Yeah, there we go, the Immortal. After taking down the Pylon, you've really taken the oomph out of this attack already. PiLiPiLi is very supply blocked for a good 15 odd seconds when this is all finished. He now can't warp in immediately with his attack as warp gate finishes. He does have a natural thrown down, but it is not quite as quick as opponents, and most importantly, he doesn't have that Robotech. His blink is going to be able to finish, which is massive. If that had been shut down, it would have been game over. But this is just going to not be too much of an issue, I think, for Disc.
Yeah, and PiLiPiLi didn't start. He was actually, so he got himself supply blocked by losing the pylon, but he didn't start a second pylon after he rebuilt it quickly enough, and now he's supply blocked once again, and he's missing out. He's going to miss out on basically a full round of warp-ins.
Yeah,
that's pretty massive.
Blink has now completed. Immortal 1 is already out, though, and the Stalkers are in such low numbers aggressively that you cannot blink onto an Immortal with this much, especially when there's 2 batteries as well. All the Stalkers... Oh, I thought they were stuck. It was just a warp-in. Second Immortal coming out soon for Disc, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Disc when this completes. Maybe start heading across the map, jump in or pick up a Prism and try to be a little aggressive. He's going to go Observer and play this out a little safer, which I don't hate either, as he is in a good spot. We do have quite a committed force of Stalkers here, but they don't win this fight. Get Sentry, that's pretty nice. That was a Sentry for nothing, I believe. Yep. Just some hit points on a couple of these Stalkers. And that kind of stops a lot of the scouting, actually. That was we sit there and go, that's just a Sentry. It's a big pickup.
Yeah, that's actually a really big deal, picking off the Sentry there. Now, I will say this is still the kind of scenario where... you know what, PiLiPiLi, he's actually, it's not like he went crazy on this. Like, he didn't completely ruin his economy to make this happen. I love this move, by the way.
Yeah.
Observer, where is it? It should be...
Oh, we've seen it, though.
Okay.
The hallucination coming in. 4 Stalkers, the perfect amount to one-shot a probe, meaning that shield battery does not matter. Now, these Stalkers may end up being, unfortunately, forced to sacrifice their lives in the shield batteries. There's so many shield batteries here. 5 workers end up going down. I think a couple of adepts maybe went in too and were forced to be recalled there. This is pretty good for PiLiPiLi. He's now up in workers by 6. Just gonna send a couple of adepts in, but there's no probe here to block actually. He's gonna try and make it, but okay, yeah, unit's too close, adept too far away.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna see these adepts get jumped on. Yeah, and they should go down. At least one of them will.
Yeah, we are going to see the army of Disc showing on up here. He is going to try and make something happen with this. Well, no, was he just covering the adepts?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that it? But he lost them anyways, so it didn't do anything.
And also just keeping that position in the map, I think, is pretty important, I guess. Blink finally coming down for Disc, so we can start matching that Blink play. He does have charge completed, and we'll be able to use those Zealots to sort of counteract Blink a little bit as well. Prism coming out for PiLiPiLi right now, who's looking like he's going to try and be aggressive in some regard. He is getting his 3rd Nexus quicker than that of his opponent. Forge coming down for Disc once again, and guess what building we haven't seen from PiLiPiLi?
Well, I have one guess, and it starts with F and ends with Org.
It ends with King Robotics Bay.
For Robotics Bay.
Yeah, no, it's for King Robotics Bay.
I love the Sofa King.
Yeah, Sofa King. All right, Sofa King Rock. Okay. +1 coming in here for Disc, and as we said, the Forge is not yet down here for PiLiPiLi. He is getting his Templar Archives, so he's going to have a very strong army in terms of composition. He has, of course, already got that Blink. He's getting a couple more gateways and things as well. He has Zealots and Zealot Charge. I mean, in terms of upgrades, it's all PiLiPiLi right now. Blink, Charge, and this push is going to get scouted, and that's an important read here. But I'm concerned. Army supply does favor PiLiPiLi. There are 3 Immortals here, and Immortals are bloody kick-ass, but we need to see more units coming in for Disc as soon as possible. He's on 4 gates, but PiLiPiLi's on 7.
Yeah, 8. He just finished his 8th gateway. Yeah, he powered hard on his production leading into this attack. And I was going to say, force fields might be the saving grace for Disc. But now these Archons warp in. And with Archon Charge Lot Blink Stalker, this is an army that is conceptually kind of countered.
Yeah, the Archon immediately loads up into the Prism here to make sure it doesn't take too many pot shots from the Immortals. We do have Zealots and Stalkers up to the north. That leaves the army in the front a little bit more vulnerable, especially with a Super Battery up. I'm not certain I love this. Prism goes down. That cuts out the bite from this attack. A lot of probes do go down and the Stalkers do escape. This maybe could have been a little more aggressive on the south side there. It doesn't... he doesn't end up getting anything off there and is now down in workers once again after having that advantage. PiLiPiLi has started probing up immediately after seeing how that went. He had cut probes for a while. We do see Robotics Bay coming down here from Disc, and it's going to be important, but +1 closer and closer to completing for our Blue Protoss, and no start yet. Still no Forge even begun here for PiLiPiLi. He doesn't believe in them.
This is... I don't know what is going through his mind at this point. Like, I like the initial attack, but after he basically got pushed back, once he got pushed out of the 3rd base, his move should have absolutely been to build a Forge. I actually think this would have been a great time for the Skillless Double Forge.
Yes,
but well, he is not thinking that. He rebuilds that War Prism, and he's coming straight across the map.
Yeah, and then Disruptors, of course, not yet out. The Robotics page just finishing. The first Robo is done. Second one is on the way. And this attack is very annoying. There's so much army here for our Red Protoss player, and he's going to get a pretty decent wrap on some of these Stalkers. A few Zealots going down, buying the time definitely needed here. This gets a lot of money that he's not been able to spend right now. He needs. Did he lose like a Robo or something? No, he needs to start producing Disruptors. He has the money and he's just not able to do it. He's getting punished from multiple angles. And I think Disc, after losing that 3rd, is in a whole world of pain.
Oh, he is in an absolutely brutal spot. We do see a blink forward here, takes down one of the Immortals of his opponent, and the Archon still adding in a lot of DPS. Despite the upgrade disadvantage, PiLiPiLi, he is going to start crushing on through here. Guardian Shield helping out a lot, and now the flanking Zealots from the War Prism do come in here. PiLiPiLi maybe overcommitting a little bit. Yeah, I don't think he needed that warping of Zealots.
No.
He killed the 3rd Nexus. Just let your economy speak for itself for a little bit there.
PiLi doesn't have that many workers either, so it's not like his third is like really, really mega healthy. Warpins in the main, going to be able to push this back without too many problems. Prism will survive. It's a little bit beat up now, very beat up now, but does get out. This one Zealot going to try and fight for its life. Good news, I guess, +2 has not started yet for our blue Protoss player. I think he's maybe a little bit, this Observer has been there for like 6 months, by the way. I think he's maybe a little flustered because he hasn't been building disruptors. He's had a lot of money for a while. He's had to rebuild that Nexus, which is frustrating. There's one disruptor on the field, but disruptors, you kind of need them in pairs so that you can force a bait and then punish the, force a blink even and then punish the blink. We're going to see another run by attempt. This Observer is going to see that, and that's a pretty big scout here. Will allow Disc to jump on top of this and handle it without too many issues. But if this base gets cancelled...
Playing with fire right there is PiLiPiLi, but he knows the math. He knows he had enough to kill that, I hope. And he does manage to take that down. Now, you talked about the disruptors and how they were kind of a little bit late to the party. That first one didn't get the big shot, but now there are 2 more on the field, and it is double disruptor production. Oh, that's a really unfortunate situation. But Disc is going to be able to counter blink back in, and we do see battery overcharge getting popped. PiLiPiLi focusing it down. I do not agree with that at all.
No, he lost an Archon and a handful of Stalkers for that. We do have a couple of Zealots trying to punish these disruptors. Doesn't end up working out, and Disc is starting to stabilize. He has this base up. He's created a wall down to stop the counterattacks coming in from at least one position, and as long as he can save these workers and the base, he can't lose the space again. He really can't afford to lose the space again, Steadfast, and he will, but at what cost? PiLiPiLi is really committed hard to take this. The recall coming in, I like it a lot. Army supply though, I think Disc has to go all in.
I think so too. Well, actually, I don't know if he has to go all in, but I think he should, because this is an opportunity for him. I will say, I don't know why he blinked back everything there. He had to know that his opponent was going to recall out. He could have gotten probably 5 or 6 more units if he had blinked on top of it aggressively, or had that ready to go. And, oh, we're going to see an aggressive blink from PiLiPiLi. That means no defensive blink. And now with the disruptors coming in on the flank, ooh, the nice Warp Prism pickup, but that is still 2 massive disruptor shots. And the blink forward will take down the Immortals and not quite the Warp Prism. But Disc, he is up 30 supply.
Yeah, he's got way too much, and just that GG. Disc does go all in, and Disc closes the series out 2